Sippin' and Strummin'. Whoa, whoo, yeah. Howdy, sippers. What's up, strummers? It's Brad. I'm back. Sippin' and Strummin' episode 4. Oh, let's see. Christmas. Kwanzaa. Krampus. Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate, I hope it was wonderful, filled with warmth and love and deliciousness and music and everything that you wanted it to be. But it's gone now. It's over. New year. We've got nothing but we're staring down the barrel of a long, cold, dark midwestern winter. Looking down the barrel of a gun, son of a bitch, getting paid, getting rich. Ultra violence be running through my head. Medina, oh, making me see red. Rapid fire Louis like a Rambo got bullets. I'ma die harder like my man Bruce Willis. Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique, classic album. It's on my list of masterpieces, no skip. Paul's Boutique, 1989-ish, I guess. Check it out if you haven't. It's really great. No, I don't think anybody sampled like that before that. I'm sipping a high life here today. It seems apropos, no nonsense, hard-working, fun-loving people. Been drinking it since, I don't know, 1900, probably, something like that. Utilitarian, gets the job done, just like we do. This winter, we're going to do. Honorable mention, though, to... we had some nog over Christmas. My friends Sean and Lauren, I guess her dad up in Round Lake, Illinois, a little bit up north of the city. Her dad knows a guy, I guess, every Christmas mixes up his own batch of nog, sells it out of the trunk of his car at the local bowling alley. It's rocket fuel, baby. I got none left, obviously. But, you'll pick up that 710 split after a couple of those nogs. 710 spliss. You'll piss. No, that was stupid. You'll be throwing strikes. You'll be wearing other people's shoes. You'll be stumbling around looking for 3 holes to put your fingers in. Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, sorry. We had a good Christmas. Off a couple days. I had Audrey over. Cam came over, stayed a couple nights. Ate a lot of cookies. We made some short rib in the crock pot, balsamic, put it over mashers, some carrots, good stuff. Drank some nog. Watched some movies. Played with the train. It was a very good time. New Year, I worked during the morning. Went to Blue Man Group with some good friends of mine. You ever seen Blue Man Group? I saw it once a long time ago. I think it's over now. This week or something was the last after 30 years. So we went and saw that. It was cool, man. I think I could be in the Blue Man Group. Banging on some cool homemade instruments. I mean, I already got the Blue Man face down. I look at people like that all the time. Anyway, pretty good. Blue ball. I've been in the blue balls. Never mind. Blue balls, especially this Christmas time when Cam was away, like a little Keebler elf, baking her booty off from dusk till dawn, for getting ready for that holiday market that she sold her cookies and stuff at. Which, thanks to everybody that came out and helped make that an amazing success for her. But the Blue Balls Group. Shake my nerve and you batter my brain. Down to love, drive a man insane. You broke my will, oh what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I don't know the words, but feels good. La da da, la da da. Goodness great balls of fire. Blue balls of fire. Let's see. Resolutions. Do y'all do resolutions? Do you do that sort of thing? Set goals? and then try to accomplish them. It's fucking wacky, I know. I don't really. I'm not good at it. I don't know. I've never been the ambitious type. Never aspired to things. It gets frustrating as I get older because I see friends my age or younger that have been working towards things and graduating things and getting the job, their dream job, or buying the house, or getting, just, accomplishing things they want to do. And it's great. I'm not jealous or begrudge them that. That's fantastic. It makes me look at me more and see, well, I've never had any ambition or focus. I've never been money driven. I remember one person at the bar one time, a long time ago, was like, you'll have kids someday. I was already like 40 some, and it's so condescending when people say that. I'm like, no, I think I'm good without kids. But who's going to carry on your legacy? I was like, my legacy? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm a bartender in Chicago that lives in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's written a few songs. My legacy? I mean, sad fact of the matter is, no matter what we accomplish, in a couple generations, you're going to be forgotten anyway. This is taking a dark turn, isn't it? I mean, do you go visit your great-grandparents' grave? Do you go visit your grandparents' grave? Are your cousins' kids or your nephews and then their kids, are they going to come visit your grave? Anyway, yeah, so resolutions not so much for me. Never really had the focus, never really had the drive. Who's gonna tell you when it's too late? Who's gonna tell you things ain't so great? Can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Oh, who's gonna drive you home tonight? The drive. I used to blame my lack of progress or movement or drive or desire or passion to do anything besides sit on the couch and eat Count Chocula and watch MTV on everybody. I blamed it on everybody. I blamed it on my parents. I blamed it, that's silly. My mom was working and trying to raise kids. My dad left when when they divorced. I don't know how old I was, 8th or 9th grade, 9th or 10th grade. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I looked for blame there. He wasn't an affectionate father necessarily. He's more from the old school. Didn't I put food on the table? I mean, your clothes on your back, then that means I love you. Shut up. But it wasn't until I was older and I realized, I do remember one time when I was real young though, and I told my dad, I don't know how old, 5th grade, 6th grade, something, that I was going to be famous musician someday or something, or famous actor. I forget what it was. And he bet me $500 that I wouldn't be. That's crazy work. Isn't that crazy? Because at that young of an age, you're not able to figure out in your head that that's him being frustrated with his life and his resentment for the choices he made in his life. It has nothing to do with you and your potential. But to have like your dad say, not support you like that and say, you can't do that, you'll never do that, that's wild. But, I don't blame that anymore, really. He was gone, and my mom also was a great mother, and I love her dearly, but she never missed an opportunity to bash my dad while he was gone. You couldn't even bring his name up for 25 years after, or the eye roll and the huff and why he was such a piece of shit. And, I guess I understand that, but So I actually, when my cousins, he's closest to my age, when his dad died, and he was a less than stellar father. He died young, I think, 60s maybe, 50s. I'm not sure how old he was. Definitely emotional, if not physically abusive over there. But he told me, I remember at the wake of his dad or at the funeral or something, you got to talk to your dad. Anything that you have left to tell him, like, you got to tell him no matter what it is. So that started to get me thinking. And then when I started to see Linda at the very beginning of our relationship, she kind of also was in my ear about that. So finally I did. And I told my dad, excuse me, that's what happens when you're sipping Miller High Life. I said, hey man, I feel like you had and we hadn't talked for a decade, maybe, I don't know how long. I feel like you had the opportunity to be the biggest thing in my life, the most important thing, most supportive thing, whatever. And you didn't do that and you failed or whatever. And much to my surprise, but now I'm not surprised after getting to know him more as an adult and a man, he said, I disagree completely 100%. My job is to get you ready for the world like a lion. And you have a job and you have a roof over your head and you have good friends and you're well-adjusted, all that stuff. So my job was a success. And I was taken aback. And I said, all right. And I forget what I was reading at the time, but it was about stars and explosion and the life that's created from dead stars. So I said, hey man, I think we probably don't have a real shot at repairing this kind of past relationship. So let's start a new one. And he was open to that. And that was probably a decade ago, maybe a little more. And so we are talking a lot more now, and it's a lot cooler as man to man and stuff like that. But I started to hear stories from his point of view that my mother was saying from her point of view, and neither are right or neither wrong. It just kind of filled them out 360. So, and my dad, I learned where he's coming from. He's a German family, his dad never showed love. His dad was kind of a legendary basketball coach in our neighborhood, in our town growing up, and always had time to mentor other kids and was like they are all at graduation, where it's like Harry Dennison, he was like a dad to me. And my dad never felt he got anything from my dad but coldness and you're not good enough and why can't you do this and do that. And, this man, my dad's dad, my grandpa, he died before I was born, a Lou Gehrig disease. But this is a man who was dropped off at an orphanage with his brothers and sisters when they were, I don't know, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. There was 4 of them, 5 of them, I don't know how many, by their mother, and told she'll be right back. And left because the man she was dating at the time or marrying after her husband, I don't know what happened to him, didn't want these kids. So she left them at a fucking orphanage. So that's what my dad was raised by. So that's rough. And my dad was a great golfer and a professional golfer, actually, a teaching pro for years and years, but had a bunch of kids. And then that dream fell away, and he worked in steel mills and did this and that. And I think that we felt that resentment in the house when we were younger. Some people just can't get out of the way of that. My cousins, actually, who had that dad that passed away, they're really good they got out of the way of that, and they raised good kids in a loving way, and it doesn't resemble what that household looked at all. I mean, I'm sure they fucked their kids up in some ways. Nobody's perfect. Everybody does a little things, but not in that same way. So that's cool. Girlfriends, I used to blame girlfriends. I would date girls that wouldn't acknowledge any music of mine, anything that like that. I was really attracted to women that were so damaged in the same way. Damaged by the father thing, with terrible fathers. And the first girl I married, I think 1998 or something, I don't know how old I was, 26, 25. She had an horrendous upbringing in family life. I mean, her dad, I think, shot the family dog, would like assault their mother, rape the mother, maybe hit them and stuff. And so So she needed a man, but then when she had one, she always had a boyfriend, that kind of girl, that boyfriend, always needed a man in her life. But when had one, just wanted to dominate and break down and kind of, I don't know, humiliate the men or whatever. So I was attracted to that for a long time. It's also exciting. That's a young man's game though. And, but I remember I went to therapy after I broke up with that one, and, that was helpful. I was starting to get these crazy, debilitating panic attacks all over the place, multiple every day, anxiety, just like crazy. I couldn't even take steps. I couldn't go further. So I started to do some therapy and got on some meds for a little bit. And I remember one session where the doctor put these like alternated pulses back between each hand. It was designed to just take like the little bit, or I don't know how much of your subconscious just away. And I was doing that, and he was asking me questions, and I remember just tears were coming down, but I wasn't really thinking of anything specifically, I don't know. But that's the day that I came to the realization upon his choice of questions and things, that I was choosing these women to keep me down and keep me small so that I could continue to blame somebody for my own lack of desire, direction, fear to pursue anything. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But that was a huge day. That was so bad with that relation with her. I think we were together 2 years. I knew her 6 months before we got married, maybe less. I don't know. We were driving down to Florida to spend Christmas with her grandparents. I think we stopped in Memphis, Tennessee, got married by Elvis in the first church of the Elvis impersonator. And, I was actually 100% impotent for, out of 2 years marriage, the whole last year of that, we didn't have sex at all. Every fiber of my body, of my being was like, don't be here. Don't be here. We're not going to be a part of this. We are not going to be, we're not going to be complicit in your destruction. So that was rough. Sometimes that therapy was so good. I haven't been since. Sometimes I think I should go back to therapy and turn over some more stones and see what else I do on a daily basis, or that affects my life, whatever. I don't know. Other times I think I'll just get old and die, all fucked up as God intended. But there's a Syl Johnson song. It's like, I will rise again. I will rise again, and I know it's about getting older and getting hard again. I know it is, because I think he released this when he was in his 60s or something. It's about meeting a woman, something stirring in his heart, and it's the beginning of good things. I will rise again, and I know that's what it's about. I actually wrote one, like a couple verses I have yet to finish, based on kind of the same thing, which was You got a special kind of light. When I close my eyes, I can feel it burning in the night. Yeah, it's true. When I said my heart had grown tired, but when I'm near you, baby, all it does is dance with desire. And when love doesn't think as it intends, I will rise again. But if love burns my world to the bitter end, I will rise again. I said I will rise again. Oh baby, now I will rise again. That's all I have so far, that one. I guess I should figure that out sometime. Anyway, I guess that's it. Thanks for listening. I am heading to Pittsburgh this week. 4 nights, maybe 2 Penguin games. We're going to see the Columbus Blue Jackets. Got tickets with Cam and I are going. Got tickets through my sister's work, and we get to go on the ice afterwards and shoot pucks. And then I'm going, I think, Thursday night to see Edmonton, Connor McDavid play against the Penguins. Excuse me. It's always interesting going back to Pittsburgh because I don't know. Every time there's like, I don't have any future there. It's just my past. I mean, my mom lives there and my little sister lives there still and my cousins and stuff. But I was thinking about it the other day and I came up with this little thing. Yesterday ripped me from my bed, packed a bag and I wet my head. I left my future behind. I got my past ahead. The idea of leaving your future to go back to the past. I don't know, maybe it's not as heavy as I feel like it is, but it's pretty interesting to me. And every time I go back there, a little bit of the past is gone. They've died. It's been paved over. It's now a fucking white boy taco shop, or I don't know what else they have, a big bowl salad place. It's kind of sad, but it's the way it goes. Progress, huh? It was really an idyllic place to grow up where I grew up in Pittsburgh. Small community, everybody knew each other. My aunt was on the school board. Between my oldest aunt and my mom, we had a kid graduating college almost every year for like 7 years. So the Heaters and the Dennisons, we rode that high school. Everybody knew us. I was homecoming king. I think my older sister was homecoming queen, but I'm not sure. It was nice, small town, you know. Type of town you couldn't get away with anything. You'd come home, you know, sit at the dinner table, you know, and your mom would say, yeah, you know, Margie saw you, you know, smoking behind a Blockbuster. What do you got to say about that? My mom doesn't talk like that. I don't know. It's for effect, dramatic license. Hey, you know, Father Gallagher saw you kissing that girl by the Donkey Kong machine at the Shop and Save. Yins better knock it off. My family does not sound like that. But anyway, you get the idea. Happy New Year, y'all. I love you. Be well. Take care. Bye.